chilling.
Man, Puck made it to second phase. I completely forgot about that hero.
Surprising, yeah.
Obviously good against any spirits to begin with. So,
10 seconds remaining.
although we did not see that in the previous series, it was the opposite. But that was just very stompy by nature.
This looks like the first time that they've had Monkey King for Sadboys too. It looks like in the league. So I'm not sure how much info that even tells us.
I actually have seen Moo playing off-lane Monkey King. I have seen him playing that. I know I knew he was gonna play the Snapfire because it's his little shtick. He likes to play these weird off-meta heroes in the off-lane. I'm feeling the same like gut vibes on the Monkey King. Maybe I'm wrong about this one, but I've seen him play it in pubs.
I don't know if he's changed at all, but he used to only play position 1 in pubs, and then he would literally never play that in matches. Like back in the day, he was off lane, and then even for what were they called? For fun, he was playing support for them, but he would still only pick carries in pubs.
Yeah.
So he knows these heroes. Like if there's a hero that can potentially be an off lane that you're used to playing, Monkey King would definitely be one of them.
Yeah, for sure. Depend on the carry pick too, I think. You know, if there's some like melee carry, you know, some Slark or whatever, Monkey King will destroy. Well, now you can't run the Monkey King in the off lane because he just purges the Jingu. So Oracle's a really good pick here.
So you pick Oracle. This is not going to get banned, so you can last pick it. I would love to see Huskar as just like this.
10 seconds remaining.
This meme. It's not, I was gonna say meme pick, but it's more like it just throws a wrench. Something you don't really see ever. I mean, the disarm for Monkey King is really good. Could potentially push him out of his own Wukong's command in addition to the telekinesis. Have you guys seen Huskar in the last 6 months? Literally,
Nope.
I have not seen him once.
Nope.
I
not
seriously, he like trickled out a bit post classic Huskar Oracle meta, but nah, he fell off the white side pretty hard. I figured if he came back, he'd come back in some sort of different position, like as a support or something, not as what we know. That's the only chance I saw him coming back, just because maybe the formula's changed or people have figured it out enough.
I agree with that. I think the formula has changed. Like this you know, running down, like owning mid so hard that you just like racks them at 15 minutes. That literally never happens now. Like even Timber Saws and things like that and Broodmothers can't do that. Good luck going high ground. It's so hard with like the split shot on Glyph and the fact that you get Glyphs back when you kill tier 1s. It's impossible. You can't win games like people used to win with Huskar.
Yeah, you're probably mainly banking that you just beat them so bad and have such a significant gold advantage that they'll throw the flag up before there is high ground, or if they just don't have late game at all. But okay, they slide in for the fishy Slark here.
Usually not a huge fan of Slark, but against Tide, pretty good. Can't complain too much. Just it feels like one of those snowball heroes, right? You got to get off to a decent start.
5 seconds
Obviously, the kills rack up over time with the Essence Shift stacks. And Oracle can keep them alive even longer, but I feel like there probably is better combos here, potentially what their last pick is going to be in terms of the False Promise combos.
Lycan was a really good ban. Lycan would have been awful to deal with here. There's no summon clear, especially these two supports. Imagine being like Oracle Rubik and a Lycan's just running at you and your Slark's like, I'll save you. I'll pounce the Lycan. Okay, there's 50 summons on you now. What do you do?
What's the over-under that Moo's not playing this Tidehunter? He never plays Tidehunter. I'm checking his pub stats. He hasn't played Tidehunter the past 8 days.
Are you insinuating mid
This could be
Tidehunter,
weird. Yeah,
Mr.
this
Dakota?
might be. I'm just saying this could be something.
I think you might be onto something. I think there's it's like most of the time we'd be like, oh, there's a 10% chance it's mid Tidehunter. I think it's closer to like 30-40% chance. I think
I like
might
that.
actually be some mid Tide. Because then like, dude, okay, if you run Monkey King into Slark, that is literally the first hero that I mentioned when I said offlane Monkey King. Like that's the guy that I always think of if it's like, why would you pick Monkey King? It will just dump on a Slark. To be fair, they have the Oracle to cover it, but it's still annoying to be a Slark against a Monkey King. It's like you're gonna have to have an Oracle there all the time with you. We'll see.
You know, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be it's just PPD, and he's used to draft for the likes of like Universe, who I'm sure would just play Tide like no big deal. So he's just like, Moo, you're playing Tide. It's like, all right, he just does it. I don't know how much say in this team they're pulling for their own heroes or not. These are all just theories, of course. But I gotta say, seeing Moo on top of a Tidehunter, just something doesn't sit right with me. Not a hero he plays too often, so either it'll be fun to see him get to, you know, pull it out again, or we're going to see something weird. That's all I'm saying.
We get to see bored Moo. That'll be good. That'll be
He'll
really
make it
true.
fun somehow, you know. Maybe he'll do some weird itemization.
Yeah.
All right, so banning some offlaners, expecting the offlane to come here, which is
Come
very
on.
likely. Unless you can do
Give us
something
a
crazy with
Trump
voice variant.
pick. Let's go. Give us a Trump pick. Give us some cheese.
Yeah,
I can't remember
want
where it
some
goes.
cheese.
Does Monkey own
5 seconds
Timbersaw,
remaining.
or does Timbersaw get owned by Monkey King because of the whole Jingu stacks
Monkey
and
owns.
reactive armor?
Radiant
Monkey
Monkey
owns
owns them.
Timber.
Oh, okay.
My
Because
God.
Monkey's about to own Timber in this game.
Trump pick. There you go. There it is.
I think this is very ballsy. I mean, Monkey Witch Doctor? Dude, that sounds impossible. That sounds like really,
Yeah.
really hard to lane
10
as a Timber.
seconds remaining.
Doesn't he just maledict you? And then you get Jingu'd, and then you're like, I'm alive at 20% HP. Oh shit, there's a Witch Doctor in this game. I'm dead.
Right, Maledict, or if they lane with Lion, just mana drain. Very annoying to deal with once you can make him use his Timber Chain
You
as
may now select your heroes.
Storm.
I think they literally just go
Pretty
with
good Storm
standard
game.
standard picks
It
on
is
Sadboys.
standard.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just Moo Tidehunter. Okay, boring, but yeah. All right, take it in real fast. The Timber at the end, the Storm Spirit at the end, gentlemen. What are we looking here, Sunspan? Is this a 2-0 Sad Boys day, or can A-Team take us to a game number 3?
I'm gonna make a hot take and go with Sad Boys for game number 2.
All right, very hot.
Okay, when your last pick Timber is countered by the first 2 picks on the enemy team, I think it's probably not looking so hot for you. I think the Bloody Sky's literally got to be the best Timber player on the planet to win this one. So I'm going to go Sad Boys. But if A-Team wins, I'm very happy for them. They've got the best Timber on the planet on their team.
All right, let's see if they can do it. We throw to a quick break. When we return, though, we've got Trent and GoDz on the mic for you.
And game two is upon us as Sad Boys look to clinch the 2-0 victory over A-Team. I'm GoDz, joining me is Trent, and we've got an early smoking move here. Trent, what do you make of this game 2 draft?
Yeah, they drew a nice line here, by the way. It's like up here, down act. They want to catch the wraparound here.
And it's going to work, it looks like. Zabo will right into it, and old Yoda, well, he chucks out a Fortune's End, but I think that's just signifying the end of poor Rubik.
Nighttime being back feels so good at the start of the game, I have to say. Big fan, you know. Not enough to save Nightstalker last game, mostly because you don't have Hunter in the Night then, but still, something more fun for the early bounty runes. But yeah, in terms of the draft, big old question mark on this Timbersaw. I have to say, I don't quite get it.
Yeah, I feel like he's in for a rough one. I also don't feel like this is the easiest hero to play on high ping when you have a rough matchup as well. Bloody Sky playing from Europe, this could make things even worse for him theoretically.
The battle begins.
Yeah, I think the reason why they went for this hero, at least to me partially, is a lot of what Owie was saying last series about how they like to play in Queensecure, this idea of like the core is always being ready to fight. And if you look across these 2 games and this whole concept of how A-Team play, it makes sense that they kind of want the same idea for their heroes. They basically never want cooldowns because in their mind, they just want to keep fighting to try and like retake the lead, it seems.
Yeah.
So that part makes sense, but his lane just looks awful.
Yeah, having a rough lane and playing from behind always feels like you're never ready to fight as Timbersaw is perhaps where things can go wrong. So,
Like, but actually though, like, what's the worst lane for a Timbersaw? I'm trying to think of a worse lane. It's Witch Doctor or Monkey King.
yeah, I was about to say, I was like, what's the best 5? I'm like, probably a Witch Doctor. Okay, what's the best character? Probably a Monkey King.
Perhaps he knows something. Maybe the Bloody Sky can bring us the knowledge of Europe that we so desperately lack in North America.
Yep. You can see there the Monkey with a significant edge over the Timbersaw, both all-time and significantly on this patch, even though it is a much smaller sample size.
Timber is I definitely have issues with this hero overall. I've cast a lot of Timber games, and my general rule of thumb is if he's not between the tier 1 and the tier 2 tower by like 12 minutes, just like taking the creep waves, honestly, even before that, feels like his game's just over. And his impact on the game is not in the win or lose column. He just kind of coasts along, you know?
I feel like I've seen a few too many like first stage Timbersaw picks as well. This one was not, but it just feels like if you want Timber to work, it needs to be picked up when you know you've got a good lane matchup.
Yeah, this looks like a first stage Timbersaw pick, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
First stage, we ran out of bans, so we hung him out to dry.
Yep. but
I'm ready to eat my words, guys. Bloody Sky, pop off, man. Please.
for sure.
I would like this to get interesting, but show me the way.
Yeah, this lane looks... I mean, a lot of these lanes look a little bit rough. Even this top lane hasn't been the easiest time for Rises. You're playing against a double nuke. Tidehunter in lane is not really the Kraken Anchor Smash, you know, route that he used to be. This Gush build poses a much bigger kill threat. As we're seeing, Moo and Snake King going in on old Yoda. He purged off the kill, so they will get the kill on Snake King first, but Moo gets the counter kill.
Yeah, and now Rise is just chilling here with a couple tangos trying to live his own mid. B&M gets him pretty low on Prince, but he's got the Fairy Fire. And yeah, we heard this matchup being discussed a little bit last series as well. The general idea being that the Storm tends to do much better in the lane, but there's always going to be that threat in the mid game if you know, you want Orchid first, and he wants Yules first on the Void Spirit. So with the right support, you can become a little bit of fodder for the Void Spirit in the mid game.
DNM continues to pressure Prince as much as possible. It's going to slow down his bottle. He's going to be forced to bring out more salve. So it looks like DNM with a very early bottle while Prince struggles to farm up towards his. So decent size advantage going the way of DNM in mid.
Yeah, and like, is he going to get any help in terms of the runes? I don't think so.
I guess Rubik can. I think you can leave Timber alone, but I don't feel like Oracle can leave the Slurk alone.
I don't even know if you can leave this Timber alone.
Yeah. DNM getting aggressive once again, bullying Prince back. So he brings out the salve now. Kills a Mango. That's going to heal him up a little bit. But DNM, if he gets his 4-minute rune, this mid lane is going to start looking really ugly for Prince.
Yeah, he's got the ward bottom, so it's pretty much just going to be a coin flip at this point.
Yeah. I imagine DNM is just going to gamble on top, knowing that Rubik left the lane. But we'll see what he does. If Prince can go top and DNM doesn't gamble on it.
Did he just smoke? I think he just smoked.
Oh,
I think
he's trying to set up a kill here.
I think he saw him on the smoke or the ward though, because he pinged
it.
Oh,
yeah. So
it's a regen too.
He didn't even go for the top rune because he's afraid of the Rubik rotation, which, you know, fair enough. DNM, I think he makes the right call there, not going for a rune because, hey, he's still got decent health, decent mana, and he can just grab a bounty rune to refill it. Bottom lane, meanwhile, because Rubik left the lane, Bloody Sky's in all sorts of trouble with a level 2 Maledict coming to kill him. Luckily, he gets back to the trees here. Is it going to be enough damage? It's going to be close.
One of the good ones.
This is actually exactly what Jacob said. Like, oh yeah, I'm living. I'm at 20% HP after. Sal's back up, come back to lane at half HP. And Peter's like, oh good, he's back. But Peter's actually out of mana here. So he'll get a bit of reprieve as there's 2 mangoes and a clarity coming out. So some time to think about another attack option here. It's back top. Moo gets forced out. Oh, the 2, man.
Oh, wow.
Impale though.
Oh, he didn't have vision for old Yoda there.
Oh, the spikes. Been able to do it.
Still, they're probably okay with this, even though they'd rather the kill. They're pressuring Rises. They're winning the kind of exchange of blows and just using their regen more efficiently here. Snake King coming back. Has got an Impale here with the stick charge. Will force a pounce away from Rise. And DNM did manage to bother one of those bounty runes, so he's in the jungle, has hit level 6,
Okay.
and...
What do you do with Rise right now? Like, actually, I mean, he's got 3 tangos coming out.
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, if you're level 6, you say you just go jungle, but...
I don't even know if I want my Oracle here right now while this lane's dying. I feel like I'm yelling at my Oracle to go away.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, at this point, the thing he needs most is just hitting level 6 so he can jungle. Elsewhere, bottom lane, Bloody Sky with Maledict. This time he will not survive, I believe. The courier does not bring anything that's going to help him. And they get the kill. DNM manages to get to the bottom rune. Unfortunately for him, it's going to spawn top. So Prince, his mid lane's suddenly a lot more even than it once was.
Alright. Huge, though, at least. Because that could have been another disaster, honestly, if that regen rune had gone the way of DNM, right?
Yeah. And Prince with a haste rune, he can theoretically threaten one of these side lanes, either with a TP in or just a straight-up rotation, so something Sadboys are going to have to respect when it comes to playing too aggressively, particularly top lane on this slot.
Yeah, I'm trying to think which one he even wants to. I guess top you have a better shot at. You're bringing Zabo mid right now. This time not under ward coverage, but you're a Rubik, so was perhaps hoping that DNM would retreat back to the camp and they could do something?
Back at top, Slark.
Can they get
I think
this
it's going
kill?
on some...
Oh, they might have him.
Rise is going to turn this one.
Oh.
Elsewhere, yeah, bottom lane. DNM goes down. Sorry, back in mid lane, DNM goes down. But top lane, they're trading blows, and Sadboys are going to get the kill on the Slark. Old Yoda trying to take one with him. Snake King needs to maybe juke in the trees. Old Yoda doesn't have vision for the Purifying Flame. Snake King going to turn around, and with Prince showing up, Moo has a Fairy Fire here. Is he going to be able to survive his way through this one? The one still on cooldown, one more Purifying Flames is not there, and Moo will survive. So Prince commits a lot on that rotation and doesn't get the kill, but the big kill was the
bottom again, though.
mid.
Bloody Sky is already maledicted. There's one more
boy.
tick. I didn't see how much damage was before. Not going to be enough.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's the level 3 Maldic. PPD going for the max Maldic build. Putting a lot of pressure on this poor Timbersaw.
Just going to go regen with the small camp here.
Yeah, it does feel like this is going to be a tough game for Bloody Sky, though. His farm is not looking too hot.
Well, at least he knew that coming into it, I would assume. That can't be a surprise.
True. And you'll see DNM jump in. Goes on Prince. Luckily for Prince, he managed to get the rune. He's going to turn on PPD. Prince has done a good job, and with the backup of Zabo, he gets the kill. The rune control.
Oh, there you go. All right, we're going for the mental game
Yeah.
here. We'll throw some tips on. See if that can do something.
You know, I feel like PPD gets tipped more than like any other player, but at the same time, do you actually believe it affects him?
I just imagine Peter chuckling. I don't think it affects him
Yeah.
knowing Peter.
I feel like he enjoys being in people's heads. But at the
Yes.
same time, I think the team tipping PPD, it's like a team building thing. Like, let's tip Peter, you know. So I guess it helps both teams in a way.
Yeah. That's definitely a rent-free moment for Peter. He's like, oh yeah. Look at that, guys.
Well, A-team are down a couple thousand gold here, largely because of how these side lanes have gone. Both Slark and Timber struggling to get much in the way of farm, so it's stack o'clock. Both
Oh,
supports
man.
in the
Look
jungle,
at this up
stacking
top.
camps.
That's so tempting. Yeah, you better pounce away. Just
Yeah.
wants to earth spike him so bad.
Dire are
Like doing the math
the-
here, it's like 900 HP. You got the Ravage. How much armor does he got? Now it's Storm here. There's no math required. He's just got to get out of there.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Yeah, back to the jungle, which with level 6 is definitely doable, so we won't be seeing much of Slark, I feel like, for the next 5 minutes.
No, and so that's one less person for Prince to play with now. As he moves through an Observer Ward trying to find Peter, but Peter will go with the dodge. Knowing where he's moving towards, and that means they're not going to get anything bottom and probably not going to get anything mid. Yoda does double back. He's coming bottom.
Yeah, bottom, they've gone on Bloody Sky, though. Bloody Sky getting very low, and with PPD showing up, I don't think he's going to get himself out of there, so Yoda
Look at that.
kind of roaming
instant
around this enemy
smoke.
jungle. Yeah, it feels like he was unsure whether to play with his Timber or play with his Void Spirit, and now it's Sadboys who are making a much more organized group move here. Ace Room bottom, PPD's going to be there to pick it up, and old Yoda should be going down.
Yeah, but he got the disc on the haste room, so you know. Some value here.
It's the little things.
Yeah, Snaking actually still smoked up from that play. Down bottom. So they'll get themselves a kill. They don't catch the Void Spirit, but the Void Spirit also is just on a pretty long excursion without getting anything for himself.
This game just feels rough because it's like, I don't feel like A-Team can play any of the lanes. There's so many things that threaten to kill them. Like, the lines hit 6 now. You've got this maxed out Maledict. Storm can zip in from anywhere. Tide Ravage. And heroes like Timber and Slark are just heroes that want to hit creeps. Or, in this case, probably just hit jungle creeps because they can't play lanes.
Yeah, and it won't be long until Moo has a hood. And they're going to be pretty magic damage heavy for the start of this game, just because the Bloody Sky is just, you know, that pure damage is not going to be coming in that fast right now.
Yeah. They are setting up bottom. So Bloody Sky, you know, he's got backup in the form of an Oracle. But
got
they can
Finger,
definitely
though.
kill him. Yeah, with one TP, I think they kill him. And there we go. TP coming from PPD. That'll bring the Maledict if needed. The cast's going to go. Maledict into Finger, probably the play here. Snake King wants to hold on, wants the bonus damage, I imagine. But as a result, Bloody Sky's getting kind of far away. Snake King misses the Impale. I
How
don't
many
know what that
stuns did he
was.
miss?
That's not how that gank was meant to go, I'm pretty sure.
Well, the first time he got a little greedy going for the spike before the Hex, which I get because he was in fog, but, you know, it just happened the
Yeah.
timing didn't line up. But they're back. They want to punish this. It's a good call, but that's a Ravage, so.
They've got the Maledict, so Fear going to go charging in, and with Mood backing him up with a Gush. Bloody Sky is getting some of this damage blocked and healed up, but Boundless Strike will secure the kill. Moo going to get the Ravage. Nicely catches out too with DNM showing up Can they bring down Prince here? They're going to throw the Death Ward here. PPD, that's still going to hit him. Oh, actually goes down here, so it actually ends the Death Ward. And Prince doesn't have an Astral Step, but he's still alive for now. Zabo stole Ravage. Had to use it defensively, unfortunately, and Prince getting slowed down is going to be brought down. So Sadboys still win the fight, even though it was a bit of a chaotic one.
Man, Peter got blown up by that. Purifying Flames, Fortune's End, Dissimulate, Resonate Pulse. That was all in a single second. Absolutely eviscerated there.
And Snake King still looking for that first Finger of Death kill. Not a big deal if you're not building up the damage. Not a pub game where you're looking to do some memey stuff with that.
Yeah, but you know he's disappointed. You know, he just had a Knicks game that was a little bit rough. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
all right, here we go. I'm going to swag on him this game. I'm going to pick me lying. It's currently under a century, so hopefully they don't come up here right now. It's back to the river. Prince, this game, man, maybe you can do something. He's played very well, I would say, considering the circumstances.
I liked what he was doing bottom, where he's just like, I may die again here under the enemy tower, but we need to make something happen. So it's like, he's kind of just playing that sacrificial role for his team.
It's his team's MO, I guess, apparently. That's just what they do. They dive. Oh, Zabo here, Fear lurking.
It's a 3-man smoke from Sadboys. They are coming top. Looks like they want to back up Fear. They may run into Bloody Sky instead, and they're going to ball in with the Orchid. The perfect follow-up, but the follow-up does eventually come in with the Maledict. They're going to bring down Bloody Sky, but can A-Team turn this one around? Initially, it looks like they want to fight. PPD getting very low. The Boundless Strike nicely catches 2 moves here, but without a Ravage. It may go on Prince here, and without the Astral Step, he doesn't have a good escape here. Pops it to Simulate just to get away from it, as Oracle gets picked off instead.
See, now you win the fight, but Snake King popping it early doesn't get his charge. You know, you see what he was up to there.
It's the you may have I imagine PPD had some words about what happened bottom, which is like, just finger when I maledict, you know. I don't care about your bonus damage.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
What? 3.58 deaths per 10 minutes?
It's not the kind of stats records you want to be setting, but they're looking to, you know, set some kill stats here. As they instantly run and kill the Tide before any kind of Ravage can come into play. And we'll pressure this T1 mid tower. I like
Dude, these
18
guys,
how
man.
relentless they are.
Yeah, it really, that's the word, man. They just go.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, there
There
have
is
been
no
teams.
off switch.
Yeah, there have been teams like this in the past, but the way that it carried them, like, oh my god, Zabel is going through the tier 2 for the Ravage.
Stolen Ravage. We'll catch out too. Can the follow-up do anything here? Dinan comes in with a torque, unfortunately, and that could spell the death of some of these. Prince gets kept alive by the false promise, so the Oracle saving Prince here to TP out. I don't know if this is going to work, Prince. That's a Maledict in your fountain. It's not going to work. Nice attempt on the TP, but unfortunately the damage was just too much, and Bloody Sky as well around the mid lane is going to be popped off. And Sadboys win another big fight.
Dire's middle tower.
I mean,
What do you think A-Team's going to do when they respawn, Trent?
well, you know, I just have this sneaking suspicion. I mean, this is what the pep talk was like. Yo, guys, Ravage is down. All right, let's go. We just gotta fight them. We can
Yep.
do this.
Sabo's like, I've got to smoke. We're ready.
Yeah.
Tower is under
I honestly, like, we're kind of laughing about it, but that is probably the right call. Slark just finished Diffusal, so I
Yeah.
think the big change that needs to happen is bring Slark this time.
Oh, it's so hard. But yeah, like teams have done this before, right? Where they kind of gained this notion. This is like exactly how they play every single time, and yet somehow it still works. But those kind of teams, like they basically just got way better at team fighting than everyone else. Like that's what carries you, right? Is that your execution is just like godlike. So, A-Team, you know, the only way to get better is to practice. So we'll just keep running bodies at people.
And a bit of an odd smoke. So Saber smokes
Yes.
himself TP's bottom. They thought Fear was going to go for this creep wave. Even if Fear does make a mistake and go for that creep wave and die, it just doesn't feel like a significant kill. Like, yeah, it's a core, but you want to take a big team fight on the enemy side of the map with this smoke. And of course, it's Fear. You know, this guy's map sense, he knows what's going on. He wasn't going for that extra creep wave.
Yeah, at the very least, Oracle did get a half-decent ward down while he was also still smoked up, and now he brings out another sentry and a smoke. I don't think you should burn this one quite yet, though.
A lot of time's gone by. Ravage
God,
is
they-
up in 40 seconds, though.
Are they gonna smoke again? They're smoking again. Man, these guys are relentless.
They're gonna run into Moo here. I don't know if this is the best target
the
to run
ward.
into. They're pinging him.
Wait, they didn't pop under it. Meanwhile, up top.
lane, meanwhile, yeah.
We'll just ignore that. Go back mid.
Okay. Yep, they got Moo. Can they kill him quick enough? Because backup may come from the top lane. Moo. It's pretty tanky. Pops the hood. Yeah, they can surely kill him. He's got no Ravage. I say that. Okay.
Surely.
They will. You know, it may be a tide, but Sadboys team was in the top lane. So Moo goes down, offlaner for offlaner, but it does feel like that's a win for Sadboys just because they're actually farming the map while A team is just like
Yes.
running at heroes.
2 smokes
And-
a lot of time, and no Ravage popped. So I would call that a win for sure for the Sadboys.
Well, they're going to be running out of smoke soon. We'll see what A-Team's next moves are going to be. Sark is continuing to farm, but the unfortunate news is that his other cores are not. Bloody Sky and the Timbersaw particularly.
They got him kind of sandwiched here.
Yep. Rises comes in. PPD is being just left to die. So nice rotation from A-Team. And
Maybe Bloody Sky gets really lucky.
oh, can they get the Orchid? Yep. Didn't have the Dark Pact, and they follow up with a Ravage and pick off the Slark. Nicely played.
It's always 1 step
Sad
forward and
boys.
2 steps back.
Yeah, it really is. And unfortunately, it's about to be another step back as Zabo gets picked off. As does old Yoda here with the Orchid. That's going to stop any kind of a false promise from happening. Storm, one of those perfect heroes to play into Oracle because you can just jump the back line.
There's really no option either as Oracle. Like either you just false promise yourself and then all your allies die, or you like buy back pretty much. And you hope that Storm wasted a lot of mana on you. Oh, but he gets an Arcane Rune now, so it's okay.
All's well that ends well for Sadboys, and this series so far going swimmingly as they're going to play around this mid lane. Maybe try and get one of these tier 2 towers before the 20-minute mark, but that's probably easier said than done. They have not got Ravage, but they still holding the high ground here. Dire Ward spots him. They
He
go
knows
with the
they have
Orchid.
a ward.
Rises Dark Pact it off.
Yeah.
Plus had the Oracle Pulse promise to back him up, and yeah, they're going to bring down the Monkey King. Good start to the fight.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yep, playing around that ward there. PPD with the TP out. Oh yes, they just barely get the TP canceled here, and they want more. They're going to keep on chasing, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to keep up to Moo.
Well, the thing was, Sadboys didn't expect them to just run back into them. So that must have caught them off guard. But yeah, I mean, they all just sat there under the tower, and Rise knew that he was under vision. I mean, there was a ward on the low ground, but there were also heroes up there, so he just kind of ran up and face-checked it and instantly Shadow Dance. He was not messing around, you know, didn't try and like max it out this time or anything. And DNM doing some quick math here with the Arcane Rune.
I believe he might have this one. Yep. He could go down for it. Will he pay the price? Moo does not have Ravage in. He may have done the math about whether he could get the kill, but he did not anticipate the response, and it's 18 bouncing back. Fear shows up with a Wukong's command. He's going to look to turn and fight this one. Snake King gets the Hex. That's on the Slark Prince in all sorts of trouble, and old Yoda did not have the false promise. Now getting caught by an Impale plus Finger. Snake King gets the bonus damage this time around with a
Rises,
stolen
though?
Finger of Death. Okay.
Oh,
Fear's
Zabo
dead,
got it, though.
and Rise is going to turn this one around. Rises goes charging in. One Snake King gets caught by an Impale plus Maledict. Oh no! Disaster for Rises. Oh, he was trying to make something happen there, trying to go for a big play, but Snake King and PPD were ready for it. The two supports. Zabo gets a kill on the way out.
I'll give him that. That was nice.
These guys are bonkers, man. They're fun to watch. I'll give them that.
Constant aggression once more, and the tip was nice.
Yep.
It almost helped turn it there. But I mean, Sadboys are, I don't know, I feel like they've just kind of got this thing on lock now, and the same logic of just like, okay, well, we'll just always bring 5, and we're a lot stronger than you guys right now. So what else is in your playbook?
Yeah.
Because if you guys just want to keep doing this, we'll just keep doing this all day. That's fine.
Yeah, at no point does it feel like any of A-Team's heroes, apart from the Slark, are getting stronger by this continuous fighting. Whereas it feels like, yeah, Sadboys is just generally scaling better, and the fights are just generally better traits for them.
Oh, well, Bloody Sky.
Yeah.
This is a depressing game. You just get, like, completely solo killed by a storm. There's nothing you can do. But yeah.
It does feel like, like you say, there's nothing you can do, but at the same time, what he has to do is just keep pushing out these lanes, getting what form he can, and then eventually he's going to die. Like, I feel like I've seen Ice play these games where he struggles on Timbersaw and just ends up going like, 0 and 10 because that's all he can do is keep pushing that bottom lane.
Yeah. It becomes a real problem with the underfarmed hero of the Timber, and they're going to smoke up. They're going to move in themselves. Genius hero pick for the A team because they fight so often that, it's infinite growth on the permanent Agi.
Ooh.
So we'll
6
see
of
what other
those
heroes they
already.
bring in their repertoire later. Some Pudges or something.
Snaking. Has the Hex. Oh, there we go. Gets the Hex out a little bit slow. Immediately perched off by the Oracle, but that just gives them vision of the Oracle. And Snaking gonna make sure they get that kill and also force out the False Promise. Prince, kept alive.
I think he was looking at the creep wave, looking at the heroes up there, and walked into a Void Spirit, not really expecting it or something.
Yeah. But oddball in from far. Does just go for the creeps. Now he finds the Slark, who did not get the Dark Pact off, and Snaking gonna follow it up with a combo to bring down the poor Slark.
Yes, Lion redeemed once you get the Aether Lens. That is for sure. Vastly improved once that's brought in. You can actually cast your spells.
Plus that level 2 finger now, a full minute shorter finger cooldown, and he gets the Philosopher's
Now
Stone,
we're
so
talking,
Snaking-
yeah.
Yeah.
Dire's top tower is under
Dream
attack.
item for a lion.
All right, well, guys, in 25 seconds, the Slark's going to respawn. And Roche is up, which, I mean, Sadboys will probably start heading towards that soon. Thus, I imagine the A-team will also head towards it soon.
Oh, they'll head there. They're going to be down to fight. I don't know how well that fight's going to go for them. It feels like Sadboys have itemized pretty well to deal with this Slark. The Halberd, Monkey King's going to have an Axe Scepter and can just drop down the
Dire's top
Wukongs,
tower
but
has fallen.
we'll see what A-team have to say about that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, they kept their outpost until past 20 minutes. Total stomp, not happening. It's good. Got that.
Fear at top, Boundless Strike into Orchid. Gets it just barely in time. I don't know how to Fear, but he did actually end up stunning himself there, and Snaking does not have a Finger of Death, so they're not going to get the kill on Rises, so...
He gets zipped through by the storm on his tree.
Oh, that's exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
that's a classic.
Is under attack.
He had to... I mean, they kind of had to do it that way with the Boundless into Storm Zip with the Orchid, but he just couldn't get off the tree in time. A nice turnaround from 18.
That's what it takes for a turnaround for 18. They will take it.
Yep.
And they're smoking. All right, DNM. Moo, though.
Okay,
Oh,
run
they
into
ran into the
Moo.
Ravage.
I mean, this is... Rise can at least build up some essence shift, but he's going to have to look for a new target here. And unfortunately, DNM's found the backlines, catches out the Rubik to start things off. Old Yoda, he could be next. And with the Ravage, I don't think he's going to get a chance to use any spells here. And oh no, Prince is being comboed by the cast. The Death Ward to follow it up, and Bloody Sky in all sorts of trouble. Rise is going to quickly find himself in a 1 versus the world kind of situation here. No Shadow Dance TP available. And with an Orchid on him, he's going down. Question is, can Bloody Sky get away? And it looks like he will be let free. Well,
Yeah.
it didn't go according to plan, but now Ravage is on cooldown. So it's go time.
And thus, we must engage. I mean, things looked okay at the start. Fear got really low, and they did eventually get him with the
Bloody
Timber
Sky.
Chain, too, yeah.
I don't think
Buddy?
Sadboys even realize he's here. They were like surrounding him without even realizing it, and then suddenly they're like, oh, hey, Storm wanted to farm that camp, and they just happened to find the Timbersaw.
This is a bold farming strategy there, I gotta say.
Rubik with the Voodoo Switcheroo.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Interesting.
Yeah, very early. I mean, I guess this is the build on Witch Doctor you've been seeing, this Ag Shard Rush.
Usually there's like a Glimmer first or something, but we've seen a couple just straight up rushed. How good is it this game? Is there anything that's like makes it super strong?
Radiant are scanning.
I mean, versus the Void Spirit, it's kind of nice.
Are scanning.
Because like he's sort of predictable and everything, so you can like dodge stuff, and he's not going to have the Agnums for a while.
Yeah, it seems kind of cool, like you say, as a kind of self-save mechanic.
And that's definitely its best feature. I don't think like the the damage is cool and everything, but I more view it as like extending your life in a team fight.
In general, Witch Doctor's ultimate feels like one of the kind of slightly weak points of the hero in a lot of games, where
Yeah.
the damage just doesn't do enough damage off it.
It's like you smoke at level 6, you get a couple kills, you're like, sick. My ulti was good this game. That's kind of how I feel about it.
Well, we'll see if A-Team can do anything about this Roshan. Tide's Ravage down only for 15 more seconds, and I don't know if they have any smokes here. They've got one. Old Yoda not going to go for it. Instead, they're going to go on bottom where Slark has already died. They were trying to TP in to save him. Instead, they're just going to TP and get some kills. Snaking gets picked off, but Rosha's going on. And Bloody Sky seems to know this. He's making a beeline towards it. He's going to be careful. They may just say, okay, we'll just, we'll take the Timbersaw kill. And that's exactly what it looks like Sadboys are going to do. They get Roshan, and then they're going to go on Bloody Sky next. DPD using the shard. As the Death Ward's going to come out and bring down the Timbersaw.
And they put the Aegis on Fear here, interestingly enough. I think because DNM zipped out, that's the only reason. Otherwise, you'd probably like it on your Storm. But I don't think it's a big concern this game. I think they're pretty happy. No Witchblade Monkey King. Oh, I've been enjoying that one, actually.
Instead opting, for the BKB, which is perhaps the one thing that Slark's going to need before A-Team can, I don't know, maybe go for one last hurrah. But
yeah.
It does feel like they're going to be really far behind by the time he picks it up.
The Witchblade's really nice when you can, like, bog down your enemies, but there's, like, a Slark, a Timber, a Void Spirit. I think you went for the right items, but it's a pretty cool build. The monkeys just start slowing everyone.
I'm not going to look to defend this bottom tier 1 tower, but Moo has a Blink Ravage here that you've got to respect. Oracle, Old Yoda revealing himself to D-Ward. You've got to be careful. If DNM's in the neighborhood, he's just going to zip in with that BKB and just take out Old Yoda first. And Sadboy's going to smoke up. They've got a great ward here. They have the vision of basically everything, and they're drawing a line to do a little wraparound. A-Team, I don't think they expect this one. PPD leading the way.
Oh,
He's
he
got the
dissimulated.
voodoo switcheroo. DNM going to go in. The Ravage follow-up. Old Yoda, he's going to be the first target, so no false promise for this fight. Rises pops the Shadow Dance early, but gets stunned in it by the Boundless Strike here. Moo doesn't have the Ravage anymore, but has an Anchor Smash. He's trying to bail out Fear, but Fear has the Aegis, so he doesn't mind. They goes down. Snaking blinks in with the Impale. Buyback from the Oracle. Can this turn it around? The Finger of Death comes out, doesn't actually get the kill, and Sadboys not quite having the success they were hoping for initially, but they finally get the Slark here. DNM out of mana, but will take out the Oracle for a second time here, and Bloody Sky with Maledict on him. Gonna get gushed up.
Oh, the Yule's timing.
Oh.
Nice.
Boundless Strike is there. The cast, the stolen cast, doing a good job actually to stop any chase, so Bloody Sky may survive. Sadboys instead gonna charge forward with DNM, and doesn't look like they'll find any more kills.
Yeah, Zabo got the blink out after getting orchided, so managed to escape there. But yeah, it's still going to be a win for Sadboys, obviously. Kind of felt like a situation where maybe they can get a full-on wipe, but they get, what, 3 kills overall? Only the buyback on the Oracle?
Yeah, they lose the Aegis, but that's just going to kind of delay out the game a bit more, I guess, from Sadboys' perspective. You just have to play a little bit safer in your fights.
Yeah, I don't think he would have farmed out the full BKB with his Aegis anyway and any time to use it, so I'm fine with just using the BKB or the Aegis to go like fight and gain more gold. Like, you know you're going to win the fight.
Zabo blinks in. They want DNM here. Have they got the damage? They've got the silence follow, but DNM just pops a BKB and zips
he's
in.
mad.
Will take out the Rubik. Perhaps they were thinking the BKB was on cooldown, but that was not the case. As Bloody Sky will get the Timber Chain away. Bounty runes will be picked up. DNM can bottle it for some mana regen, and Sadboys have full control of this dire triangle now.
I like the way the Bloody Sky does the self-Yules while his Timber Chain's flying, so that he can't get stunned up in that window. You don't actually see that done that much anymore. But it's a good way to stop like the blink in from snaking or something, from stopping him from completing it.
Yeah, it feels like they've got a lot of ways to cancel that Timber Chain in this game, so makes a lot of sense. Rise is going to get the hell out of top lane as a lot of Sadboys heroes were converging on him. And we will see Sadboys perhaps wait for Fear's BKB. Although it does look like the rest of the team are happy to play pretty aggressively around this mid lane. Storm
Okay.
with the ward.
Yeah. Remember that time he initiated on me? Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't even have the BKB there. But he is unafraid. Once more. Goes on Rises, who does have the spider legs to get the hell out of there. And now Bloody Sky is going to be a little bit careful. He's losing all his mana to this mana drain. Snaking with the maxed out mana drain. Making his life a little bit miserable there.
And whipping his team into shape. Oh, the blink down bottom. Snaking caught Prince in the trees TPing.
Uh-oh. Well,
Snaking didn't
he's
see
waiting
him, I
for
don't think,
backup,
though.
Perhaps? Yeah. Has another blink soon, and with an Aether Lens. Okay, seems like he's been juked. Or perhaps he was just, you know, afraid that... I'm pretty sure the Void Spirit wins that 1v1 fight. He needed backup.
And Moo just runs into the tier 1. It's always a great feeling in a game when you're winning so hard. You just do this.
So you need a creep wave. Make sure you catch the following creep wave so you don't have to worry about that split push bottom.
Dire's bottom tower has
But
fallen.
don't imagine we'll see them. They can't go for this tier 2 bottom right now because their bottom lane is not being pushed out. So
Yeah, it looked like Snaking was thinking about going to guard it for a second, but I don't think it would have worked out anyway because Prince is out of there. So they're going to smoke back towards top after
So they're gonna
rises,
hold.
and they're just trying to cut out his next move, but he TPs all the way back to the fountain.
didn't want to go for that bounty rune, so it looks like all 4 go the way of Sadboys. So
21 kills in 31 minutes, the tied kill record for this time on a Storm Spirit in game since TI5. Whew! With Cicada and Iceberg.
I didn't realize he had 21 kills, and at the
Neither
same time,
did
I also
I.
didn't realize Sadboys have 40 kills in just 32 minutes. Usually 40 kills is like, 60 minutes in.
Oh,
but-
down bottom, the
Yeah.
Aether actually did connect on a
Okay.
fear, but
Is he going to TP out? Yep. Plays it safe.
yeah, I mean, it makes sense again with how we talk about how 18 play that they're going to have these very high death counts and kill
Yes.
counts for their opponents.
At the same time, they've got a decent amount of kills themselves. A lot of teams down 17k gold would have like 6 to 8 kills in a game like this. But different way of playing Dota that's worked for them in the past, but when you're versing these higher tier NA teams, hasn't been successful for A team who've had defeats at the hands of, I believe, Undying as well as EG, I think they played.
Either them or the Zoomers, I can't remember. I know it was two of the
Okay.
harder teams.
Yeah, it might have been Zoomers, actually.
Yeah.
Feels like NA, there's like a clear top 5 teams, and then there's like kind of a clear bottom 3.
Yes, this is not necessarily their competition in terms of the final standings.
Yep. Sadboys, they've got the high ground, and unfortunately for A-Team, they smoked up looking to make a play here.
Yeah, Prince popped. He had to panic to assimilate because he didn't want to get jumped on by the lion. Probably a good call because they were under vision too.
It's such a hard place to smoke because Sadboys are happy to sit on that high ground with their ward there and let the smokes pop, particularly during daytime where they'll instantly have vision of whichever hero it is.
Yeah, and now they've got the creeps on the base, so time to come home here, A-Team.
Yep. Not the best heroes to pressure the tower with, but Fear is still going to put himself on the high ground with Moo. But a Vlad now as well, and TP's, yeah, they've got to come. Zabo has a Stolen Earth Spike, so not bad spell. Tower going to be claimed here.
They're trying to bait with his DNM illusion.
Yeah. I don't think that one's working.
Real cute.
DNM
Now you
just
send
hiding
in
in
the real hero
trees.
next. That's the actual play, you know?
DNM is just waiting for Vision of Oracle. You can see, look at old Yoda just behind the throne. Because if you see this Oracle, you just jump him. There's no
Yeah.
real counterplay for the Storm doing that. Particularly if he pops his BKB, but I don't even think he has to pop his BKB when he jumps the Oracle.
Rise is just in the Radiant Triangle, still waiting for this bounty rune. They're getting close, though.
Are under attack.
And
He
he gets
is
both bounty
BKB,
runes.
so should be fine. TP spot.
Hey, they got, I think, 3 bounty runes, right? A-Team, bouncing back.
Nice, nice. One step at a time. Hey, it was a 17k lead. Now it's a 15k lead.
Yep. Unfortunately, it feels like Sadboys is just letting this kind of game go into a bit of a lull while they waited for this Roche to respawn, and they can now either take Roche or just force a fight around this Roche pit, which they're surely favored to win.
I mean, a lot of the gold was also just like floating. It was just like tied up in inventory or in the wallets, and now you're seeing it spent. Like Snaking has an Octarine core for some reason. I mean, he has an Aether Lens. Yeah, I mean, it builds into it now, but I don't know if this is necessary. I like it though.
And more caster, and Rises gets jumped mid and gets deleted before he can even pop the BKB. And this is the problem for the Oracle. Oracle has to stand so far away from the Slark or you get jumped by Storm, and as a result, the burst damage from Sadboys can just delete the Slark before he pops BKB.
Alright, decent item on the BKB, but feels like if you have to buy back on your Slark, this game just feels even harder.
DNM jumps in, will force out Prince's BKB. He goes charging in with it. Snaking will be pushed back, but
Oh, here we go. The finger, though. That's going to be a lot of damage.
yeah.
Stolen with the bonus. Like roughly 1,000 damage, it looks like. 1071.
It's start building up his finger of death kill damage. They're going to buy back the Slark and just
Wow.
smoke a Roche. Sadboys instantly don't even go for it. It's like,
No.
all right, they want to fight?
Yeah.
Back to the high ground. This is our high ground. And
Look
Ryan's
at
just gonna
Peter.
run in. Yeah.
He knows.
Peter's got to be careful. He goes into the voodoo form. He's trying to turn on the Slark with the Ravage there as well. They take out the Slark. It's a die pack and force for a Jet as well. With that buyback, this is surely game over. We'll see if they call or they play it out. They're going to call it, but I love that Witch Doctor could frontline.
That was sick. Yeah, that was
With
a
the voodoo
great use
switcheroo.
of the shard. It's like they know exactly what's coming. I'm gonna pop the smoke, sit under one of our wards, and the second Slark's flying through the air, I'm a death ward. Genius.
Fun getting to see some of the new shards in action, and also, fun getting to see A-Team play their kind of crazy run at Udota, but, Sadboys, they were ready for it. They had the answers.
Yeah, they were not wasting any time. I mean, as A-Team like to say, they also don't like to waste their own time. So they made that very clear in this one. Again, though, I mean, there are bright spots, right? It's not like they're getting completely stomped or anything like that. They don't, sure, they're getting outclassed in some ways in terms of like the team dynamics and everything, and perhaps even like their overall like macro strategy in the game. But a lot of their individual plays are good. It's just there's all these other bits that seem very hard to bring up against the top of NA.
Yeah. Well, now 0-3. Unfortunately, that puts them in a rough spot. They still have to play those other kind of bottom teams, so they're not relegated just yet.
Mhm.
My question though is Sadboys. How far can this team go? Because I've heard the rumors and rumblings where people like Sadboys are not really a top 3 team in NA. People feel like more gung ho about a team like Undying. Do you think they can compete for that top 2 spot?
I mean, I would have said the same thing until they played against EG, and they looked really solid, and I was surprised by that because, I mean, you just get the idea of just like, how serious is this team? Because Peter was on a break, and then Fear, you don't really know like what are his motivations. But then you have someone like Moo, who I think is still pretty hungry competition-wise, and Snaking is the same way, and this young star. So they've turned my head a little bit here. But yeah, they're going to be vying it out. It seems like even the Zoomers with their struggles lately, that's someone who I think that matchup, Sadboys versus Zoomers, would be a really fun one to see.
Yeah, well, we've got week 3 coming up tomorrow, I guess. Yeah, lower division starts right away, but that's a wrap for week 2. We're going to head back to our panel as they kind of wrap up what's happened today, the rest of the week, and what's coming up next week. We'll see you guys then.
And with that, upper division action for today has concluded as Sadboys will secure the win in getting a 2-0 series over the A-Team here to round things out. I'm back on the panel now with Suns fan and Jenkins. Gentlemen, Sadboys, of course, had a tough battle last week taking on EG. They got just a 1-game win in that series here. They come back, send a hard message, and just clock in and clock out and do work against A-Team here. Some little bits of hope and light for A-Team, and they do as they say. They're going to fight and throw bodies at them for as long as they can, and they give us that entertainment. But as I mentioned, Sadboys are ones to get the W. Suns fan, your impression on game number 2 in the series?
Yeah, A-Team is a lot of fun to watch, ultra aggressive and whatnot. It was kind of cool to see the contrast between both teams. Sadboys, like you're talking about, just very methodical by nature, just doing what they need to do, increasing their lead over time. And then the A-Team just going ham constantly, which, if you look at their lineup, even like Timbersaw just in general, obviously makes sense with the type of play that they want. But last picking it into Monkey King, Witch Doctor, which were first 2, even Storm, like basically wasn't good against any heroes, it feels like. So that's more than a little questionable. But like if that was just replaced with a complete, like any random offlaner would have been better, literally, I feel like. But Sadboys is the better team regardless, so they should have won and they did.
Yeah, I think if you're Sadboys and you see that Timber pick come out, you kind of check out. You're like, all right, well, we're just going to eventually win. Like, this hero's going to have no game. It's going to be 3 cores versus 2. And honestly, they were winning both. They were winning all 3 lanes. That game would have been a lot quicker. But DNM was just very unlucky with the rune lock mid. Like, every time Prince went to grab a rune, it just spawned on him. It's like a regen into, like, invis into haste or something like that, which is the mid lane. I mean, that's how it goes. And like the rune control was good too. So like, I think that actually could have been much worse. Basically what PPD said, what he predicted came true, especially in the second game. Basically, they just took a laning advantage and then the game is way easier to play after that. Your back's constantly up against the wall. If you just lose if you lose 2 lanes and go even in 1, it's just, the game is so hard to play.
Yep. We are actually lucky enough now. We have DNM joining us for the winners interview. First, DNM, congratulations. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So there's been a lot of talk mostly around you actually with this team. I know we have stars like PPD and Fear on the squad, but a lot of people bringing up your name in particular because you're a rare case where you're actually one of the younger players actually rising up in NA. We haven't had one of those in, God, a long time. And even in the pre-series interview, Zabo himself said he was really happy for you and would look forward to playing against you on the other side. Just as a TLDR, what was it like getting approached by PPD or the team? How did that first interaction work, and how are things going with you on Sadboys?
No, yeah, I think the rise of NA talent for me is like I'm really grateful for the opportunity. Peter, I probably met him in a pub once. I added him on Steam. We had a few chit chats, and one thing led to another. I'm just the new middle for Sad Boys. I'm really grateful for the opportunity. I'm gonna make the most of it. Uh, I think I fit in fairly well, and hopefully I can, you know, uh, really set the expectations and hopefully make Peter proud.
Yeah, I mean, today your stat line is ridiculous. I think you go 9-1 on Invoker and then 22-2 on Storm Spirit. Knoxville says you drop
what a ridiculous.
He
score.
drops a record on kills for Storm Spirit at the 30 to 35 minute mark. So DNM, you did a fantastic showing today. I have Suns fan and Jenkins here though, and they call themselves experts and want to ask you a question. So Suns fan.
Yes, DNM, first and foremost, congratulations on the wins. Great to see some new blood into the scene. I have a very important question for you. What hero do you want to play in matches that you know is just awful, but you wish you could have PPD just pick it for you? Is there a hero that comes to mind?
Yeah. I know the perfect hero. I'm just waiting to play the Snapfire mid. I already have the big dire tide set coming out. I just want to use it once, in the pro game. The hero's just so fun, but is definitely more suited on the offlane role on Moo, in my opinion.
Is that like because he's been getting shard? Is that what you would build mid as well?
I think so. I mean, probably I would just go for the right click button. I mean, fucking just right click is so. The right click though is just so much fun. It's so much fun.
That 25 talent is pretty busted. If you
big
can get
damage.
to it.
Yeah.
You actually like out carry a bunch of heroes that you probably shouldn't be able to. Okay, I have a real question for you here. Sorry about that one once again. So okay, I gotta ask about this. You're switching to mid, okay? Originally playing carry. I know you're very versatile. I've seen you play a shitload of stuff in pubs, which by the way is very impressive. But you're in a game. You're completely outskilling the guy mid. I was watching that mid matchup. Like you were doing cool shit. You were like, grabbing him when he was going for range creeps and walking up and remnanting so he couldn't come and get like a certain deny or whatever. And then he just gets every rune because he guesses it. How do you deal with this psychologically as a mid player? You just do all of the work, and then it's like, oh, I'm just unlucky. I guess it's even now.
No, this is some major psychological warfare. You just have to prepare for it mentally. Things can go right, things can go wrong. As long as you prepare yourself, try to prepare yourself for the 4 minutes. You get it sometimes, but at the end of the day, you're still outskilling the guy, and it's gonna show off later in the game. But
that's true.
That's just the midlife.
It's true.
I'd wish I was playing carry. Carry is much more predictable and stable. But mid's a lot of fun like that. I mean, you have your regen rune moments, but I think at least the 1v1 part for the first 4 minutes.
That's the good part.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll finish out with the mid laner question. Then last week you went up against Evil Geniuses. That means in particular you got to go toe to toe against Abed in the mid lane, which many would consider one of the best, if not the best, in the region. What was that experience like? I mean, I can't unfortunately pull off the top of my head, remember how the experience actually went, but was that something you kind of took away and learned a lot from? Was it humbling? Do you felt like you felt pretty good? What was that matchup like when you went against EG last week?
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of mid laners still left coming up that I have to face against. We still obviously got Quinn and Gunnar, right? But I think all of these mid lane experiences is definitely going to be definitely a really good learning experience, right? But as long as I have my respect, versus them, I think I'll be able to go toe-to-toe against any of them for sure.
Awesome. That's exciting to hear, DNM. I appreciate you taking the time to join us. Very humbling interview, and it's always great to kind of get that insight from your team. We've heard from multiples of them now, and congratulations again on the win. We look forward to watching you play against next week. Sorry, I want to see if I can see on the schedule. You're playing 5-man Midas on Thursday, so we do look forward to seeing you then. Appreciate it. Any final words for any DNM fans out there?
No, just keep on supporting me, guys. I think we got something good here. This is going to be the new NA talent. Hopefully we get the young talent going in for TI. Hopefully, but yeah, that's all I got to say.
I love it. I love the confidence. DNM, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thanks for the cast, guys.
Wow, good stuff. Always love to hear from someone new into the scene and for them to come in and be that humble, be that hungry, and a little bit of confidence too on top of it. He respects all of the mid lane talent that is in the region. I mean, again, everybody loves to look at NA, look at the NA trash out there, but we got Abed, we got Gunner, we got Quinn. These guys are serious killers, and if you undervalue them, if you underrate them, then you're going to be in for a big surprise come international land time, that's for sure. But it may be DNM.
What a nice young lad, I have to
Absolutely.
say. Now, the question is how long until he's corrupted by the NA filth and toxicity? How long will it take for him to see the bowels of our region? But no, it's good to hear from newer people in terms of just competitive play, at least. Wishing him all the best.
Yeah, I agree with Suns fan. There's definitely a visceral festering that we are waiting for to see coming out of DNM. But with that being said,
both in one sentence. Congratulations.
But anyway,
sir.
if you could, I'm just trying to finish up my thoughts here. Anyway, he's got this great intuition. He's got everything. He's like one of the highest skilled starting point young guys. I'm not just saying I'm saying he's actually up there with Sumail in terms of there's a lot of these other younger guys that are 16, 17. They're ranked 200. It's still impressive. Don't get me wrong. This guy's top 10. He's top 10 just based off of this intuition and skill and, the Zoomer shit, mechanics, that sort of stuff. So, there's probably a pretty high ceiling there. Can
I just say one more thing, just in general, about the interviews that we've had so far? I know this is going to make me seem like a boomer. But we have come so far on interviews. If you guys don't remember, back in the earlier days of Dota, just esports in general, interviewing players was mind-numbingly up. You literally would get stupider interviewing some of these players because they didn't know how to talk to people. They don't know how to communicate with anybody, and they just play Dota. That's it. We have come so far. Everyone has been so eloquent and nice to talk to. Kudos to Dota players out there for actually having social lives and
we're all
learning
getting
about life.
More mature, and I get it. It's what matters in the game, and all that should matter is the W, and that's what gets you the win. But I think a lot of them are learning that there's a way to build up a marketing brand for yourself, a presence, and someone for people to actually follow and root for. So definitely agree with you, Suns fan, 100%. The interviews have been fantastic, and there's still a lot more of those in content to come. But we still even have more series to come today. Before we talk more about what is coming today, let's just take a sneak peek again at the recap of standings for the NATPC, and then we'll take a peek at next week's schedule as well. So where we stand after today's upper division matches. Well, we still got Evil Geniuses and Undying at the top, but Quincy Crew are still by their side, securing that win today against the 4 Zoomers. With the win also from Sadboys, they're going to be resting comfortable right in the middle of the pack, side by side with Black and Yellow. And obviously, unfortunately for our boys on the A team, though entertaining and action-packed, they unfortunately have yet to get their win. I got to tell you, though, I'm getting pretty damn excited to watch A team versus 5-man Midas go down. Hell, even A team versus Black and Yellow versus 5-man Midas. I know we saw in the first week and was a pretty close series, but where I'm always eager for these top team series, I'm actually getting just as eager to watch the bottom team series who are battling to stay alive.
It's true. Getting knocked down into the lower division, I mean, it's a lot less money. It's a lot less clout. Everybody likes those big views. Everybody likes to be up there with the big boys. So there's a lot to it. And the thing is, I think every single series, I honestly love this format. I know a lot of people complain about it. I've loved this shit. I don't care about all the technicalities, whatever. I'm too stupid to think of that, okay? I like this shit. I like the fact that A-Team, if they can somehow manage to pull off a win against like Quincy Crew or something like that, or 5-man Midas, if they can pull that off, that means they're, and then they win against Black and Yellow, or maybe they don't even have to win against Black and Yellow. They could legit stay in the upper division, and then Black and Yellow gets knocked down. Like, every single series matters so much. And it's awesome. It's great to watch. It's probably very, very stressful to play, but it's good to watch.
Yes, that is definitely true. I mean, even for a team like 4Zoomers, not off to a great start, 1-2, things are not looking great, but at the same time, if two of those top 3 teams end up losing just one series and you win out, there's still a chance to get top 2. So, and obviously you just do not want to be bottom 2. That is what you're trying to avoid at all costs.
We could get a sneak peek at some of that action possibly happening next week. I got to look a bit at next week's battle card, if you will, or schedule of matches to come, and there's some doozies in here. Now we get right back into it starting tomorrow with the lower division, Electronic Boys versus Simply 2 Based, who have been on a pretty hot streak as of recent. And then we return for Undying versus Black and Yellow. Undying will have 2 series this upcoming week. Our lower division featured match on Tuesday will be the Byzantine Raiders versus Arkosh Gaming. That'll be a fun group to watch again.
I'm sorry. Is it actually pronounced Byzantine? I thought it was Byzantine.
Maybe it's Byzantine. I don't know.
Because you and Jenkins have both said Byzantine.
It's Byzantine. Byzantine.
Oh,
okay.
good
It's
lord.
it's a very small city.
I will double check the pronunciation. The Raiders, I'll go with for now, against Arkosh Gaming. Thursday, Sadboys 5-man Midas, Quincy Crew versus A-Team. Saturday is going to be the return of the lower division, but my goodness, take a peek at Sunday. We start off with Black and Yellow versus 4Zoomers. 4Zoomers will obviously really want to win that to keep themselves at the upper echelon. But then we go into Undying versus Evil Geniuses. That should be a doozy. Everybody going to be watching that series. If somehow Undying can take this series from Evil Geniuses, this whole NA division has been busted wide open, and anybody can take a top 10 spot at the major. Not anybody, but one of the top 3 or 4.
Right. Byzantine Raiders won't because they're lower division, just to be clear here.
Not them either. Okay, fair enough.
I believe they are based on the Byzantine Empire, which was a long time ago, for those that don't know. I thought you guys were like just smarter than me for a second. I was like, oh, maybe that's actually the pronunciation. I never knew. I just always assumed it was
I said it with confidence. That was the thing. I just said it with confidence.
It's like
and then
80
you stopped
IQs.
and went, wait.
It's like 80 IQs comparing with 70
special
IQ.
right there.
It's, I don't know.
True. It's not much different.
It's comparing like rotten potatoes with like even more rotten festered potatoes. It's all rotten, you're not going to eat it. Anyway.
I'll do my best to make sure we say it right come game day on Tuesday so we don't do them a disservice.
I kind of want to just start saying Byzantine. I don't know. It sounds like
Byzantine.
A bison. Buffalo bison. What's the difference between a bison and a buffalo? Okay, now I'm really curious.
Bison are female, buffaloes are male.
Is that actually true?
Yes.
He said it with confidence. I couldn't tell you.
See, I took a leaf out of Dakota's book.
A bison is an American buffalo. They're the same thing.
Oh, I get it, because there's a buffalo in America, right? So that would be really confusing if they called it a buffalo as well. You know what I'm saying? There's a buffalo in New York, I think. So, like, not the animal. There's a Buffalo City in New York.
Okay, let's move this discussion along.
Relax over here. I don't even know where to begin connecting Buffalo to the lower division action coming up next, but there is lower division action coming up next. Please don't leave. More NADPC action to come. Shouts, of course, to MLP and John X Fire are going to be on the mic for this one, so don't go too far. We have Team Dog Champ versus the Electronic Boys coming up next.